Since the early 1950s, Belzona has been at the forefront of developing polymer systems for maintenance engineering. Today, as the recognized world leader in our field, we continue to introduce leading-edge technology to solve repair and maintenance problems. Engineers in all industries, petrochemical, shipping, power generation, pulp and paper, sugar, and many others, face continual problems of erosion, corrosion at elevated temperatures and pressures. Conditions like these affect the performance and reliability of vital equipment in their plants. In the oil and gas industry, engineers are continually encountering the problems of ever-increasing operating temperatures and pressures in their continued quest to maintain productivity from dwindling resources. Their critical production equipment is constantly under attack from the aggressive production fluids. These operating conditions, together with erosion corrosion accelerated by crevice corrosion, bacterial attack, and galvanic effects, eventually take their costly toll on this vital equipment. The conventional approach to solving these problems, utilizing glass flake-filled coatings, weld repair, strip lining, hot metal spraying, and the use of exotic alloys, have failed to provide a long-term solution to these problems. Working closely with major oil companies through its industry-specific engineers, Belzona began the task of developing a polymer system capable of overcoming these extremely demanding service conditions. Following years of dedicated research and development and independent testing, we now introduce Belzona 1591, the world's leading polymer coating, capable of withstanding immersion temperatures in excess of 350 degrees Fahrenheit, combined with resistance to the destructive forces of explosive decompression, a common threat to many pieces of pressurized process equipment. Now, with the introduction of Belzona 1591, unscheduled outages previously encountered with critical production equipment can be a thing of the past. But what makes this Belzona system so different from conventional coatings? This unique system has been developed by using special heat-activated and resistant, densely cross-linked polymers, chemically coupled to reinforcing fillers, creating unprecedented resistance to moisture and gas permeation at elevated temperatures and pressures. Belzona 1591, easily applied using conventional methods, will post-cure in service to optimize performance to levels previously unattainable by conventional coatings. This was proven utilizing high-pressure test cells in which Belzona 1591 and other proprietary coating materials were subjected to temperatures ranging from 250 degrees Fahrenheit to 365 degrees Fahrenheit and pressures up to 200 psi. This testing showed that Belzona 1591 was the only product to withstand temperatures in excess of 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and when externally insulated, was unaffected at the upper test temperature of 365 degrees Fahrenheit. The technical superiority of Belzona 1591 has been further confirmed by independent testing by and on behalf of major oil and gas companies. For example, in work carried out by a leading British test house on behalf of a major Dutch oil company, Belzona 1591 was compared against coatings recommended by various manufacturers as being suitable for the internal coatings of oil-gas separation equipment operating at 270 degrees Fahrenheit and 450 psi. Even at these relatively low temperatures and pressures, Belzona 1591 was the only in-situ applied and cured coating to withstand the test conditions. On a practical basis, Belzona, for the past decade, has been helping oil and gas production companies around the world to overcome problems in some of the most severe operating conditions. With this track record of success, it is not surprising that many of the world's leading oil companies have been looking to Belzona to provide what many in the industry consider to be the impossible. In spite of all the odds, this has now been achieved, and many upstream oil and gas operators are now benefiting from using Belzona 1591, where the system has been used to protect these oil-gas test separators, which operate in fluctuating temperature and pressure and varying well conditions, and are subjected to corrosive effects of CO2 and H2S on both gas and oil production fields. The production vessels on this floating production storage offshore vessel were protected from new as an alternative to expensive and potentially troublesome stainless steel cladding, where the operating temperatures are in excess of 270 degrees Fahrenheit. Belzona 1591 has the capability to solve high-temperature erosion corrosion problems on most production equipment, such as knockout drums, scrubbers, coalescers, flash drums, hydrocyclones, and crude oil heaters used in the process prior to transporting it to the downstream refineries and petrochemical plants, where elevated temperatures and aggressive refining processes also take their toll on machinery and equipment. The absorber towers in many plants are constantly under attack from the amine-based stripping process to remove CO2. The traditional strip lining or hot metal sprayed coatings are subject to attack from the carbonic acid formed during this process, resulting in failure due to stress, crevice, and galvanic corrosion. The use of traditional cold-applied coatings such as glass flake have either been discounted due to the elevated operating temperatures or, as experienced, has destroyed during the steaming out process used to decontaminate the equipment during a plant shutdown. Here we can see the effects of the failure of a strip lining where severe pitting corrosion has occurred on the tray support rings and vessel walls. Belzona 1591 can provide a long-term solution to these problems, extending the life of the equipment and reducing outage costs, as has been identified by large gas processing plants where Belzona has proved to outperform traditional weld repair procedures, which only introduce further stress corrosion cracking problems. Now, with Belzona 1591, the petrochemical industry can address many of the problems associated with elevated temperature process equipment, such as sour gas and wastewater strippers, overhead condensers, desalters, desalinators, evaporators, reformers, and other process equipment operating in demanding service conditions. Although Belzona 1591 was developed in response to the demands of the oil, gas, and petrochemical industries, high-temperature processes are common to many industries. Power generation throughout the world relies in most instances on the use of steam, both natural and processed. At this geothermal plant, highly corrosive sulfur-laden steam causes severe deterioration of the low-pressure turbine casing, resulting in severe pitting and loss of wall thickness. Belzona 1591, with its high temperature resistance, is capable of restoring the integrity of these units while protecting against further erosion-corrosion attack. Within a fossil fuel power plant, turbines also suffer problems of erosion, where the low-pressure steam condensing within this turbine casing has eroded the diaphragm seating and the adjacent casing. Only Belzona 1591 can offer an easy solution to the problems on these turbines and other equipment, such as flue gas scrubbers, condensate pumps and tanks, heaters, deaerators, and the systems associated with them. Equipment operating in process industries like pulp and paper is under attack continuously from the corrosive solutions used within the manufacturing cycle. Steam once again plays an important part in manufacturing systems, and when contaminated with chemicals, it forms a hot solution that erodes, corrodes, and deteriorates plant equipment, eventually leading to breakdown and loss of production. In the pulp and paper industry, Belzona 1591 can be used to protect vital equipment like this wet scrubber from attack by both particulates and corrosive vapors. Production of sugar from cane or beet involves many elevated temperature processes, where machinery and equipment are constantly under attack from erosion, corrosion, abrasion, and chemicals. In this sugar plant, for instance, Belzona 1591 could offer solutions to the above problems in diffuser boxes, juice heaters, distillation pans, evaporators, and clarifiers, where attack from a combination of steam, condensate, and sugar juice at elevated temperatures results in ongoing maintenance problems and plant reliability. Reliability is also the key when it comes to the marine industry, and to an engineer aboard ship, peak performance is essential. Even the smallest problems, such as a leaking steam-sealed gland, can become a major headache when at sea. Belzona 1591 can protect these seemingly insignificant but vital areas: steam turbine diaphragms, mud drums, air ejectors, and exhaust gas scrubbers, thus preventing a small problem from becoming a breakdown situation. For years, engineers have tried to solve the problems of equipment failure associated with erosion corrosion at elevated temperatures and pressures. Unfortunately, for the most part, they have failed due to the limitations of conventional materials. Finally, Belzona has developed the world's leading polymer system, capable of providing the solution to many of these problems. What was once impossible can now be realized. Belzona 1591, a revolutionary high-temperature polymer from Belzona. Why not put it to work for you?